Hi guys, I want to say thanks so much for allowing me to share with you just the other day. It was a real privilege for me, and I'm sure you noticed that. My desperate hope and prayer in that time was that in some small way, I'd be complementing everything that Henning is doing with you guys in preparation for the World Cup. We spoke about unlocking untapped potential and capacity in the face of challenges when we're under pressure, how to win off the back foot. And we used the axolotl, a South American salamander, as a picture of how to transform when our environment or our climate has changed dramatically and adversely. This eel-type creature, the axolotl, is perfectly at home in water and lives all its life in that environment. But something radical happens if the home advantage dries up. As the water starts to disappear, this animal absorbs its gills into its body, forms lungs, grows strong limbs, and then transforms into a land animal. So we use this picture to turn the tables on, amongst other things, the psychological challenges of playing away from home. You see, the axolotl leaves what was home, and in the face of completely foreign and hostile conditions, he transforms to survive in a different land. My point is, these creatures were created with the capacity to morph when the going got tough. And you know what they say, when the going gets tough, the tough get going, right? But in this instance, it's not that the tough got going. You see, the axolotl is actually a weak creature that got tougher because of tough circumstances. A capacity was unlocked that cannot be seen with the naked eye. But it does exist in the DNA of this creature. And all that needed to happen was for the water to dry up and bang, gills got swallowed, lungs grew, strong legs were formed, and a tough and thicker outer skin developed, and the whole body hardened. And I honestly believe that even though you're at the top of your game, your full potential has yet to be realized. See, a capacity exists in the DNA of who you are as an athlete that cannot be seen with the naked eye. All that has to happen is not so much for you to get the dream pass, as cool as that is, but rather your water needs to dry up. You need to lose what you're comfortable with at home, the home advantage we could call it, and you need to enter foreign and hostile conditions so that the morphing DNA can be unleashed in each and every one of you. But the gift that unlocks that capacity is adversity, hostility, and negativity. And a lot of teams slump and their heads drop when the penalties start piling up and when the points are stacking against and when the pressure's on. But the axolotl uses the pressure of its foreign environment to unlock strong limbs and to swallow its gills so that it can breathe with new lungs. And you have to use the adversity and the challenges that are inevitable in conflict to unlock fresh legs for you so that you can find your second wind and for your body to harden so that you can turn the tables not only in a hostile climate, but use that hostile environment to your advantage. There's a story, a Hebrew story about an innocent guy called Joseph. You may have heard of him. He was put in prison for 12 years, a kind of Mandela-type character. And when he's finally released, his forgiving response to his betrayers who dealt him such a huge body blow was, "What you intended for harm, God has turned for good." And guys, this is what's called the great reversal, taking the big hits in life and turning them for your good, using them for your advantage. It's more than just rolling with the punches. It's using those punches to stimulate an indomitable resolve and fortitude to never give up and to never give in, which is so beautifully captured in the Sassel ad where John says, "We will not surrender." You know, winning teams have always had the ability to take what daunts other teams and to turn it around to their advantage and to win off the back foot. We call it character. And it's not so much a talent thing, but rather a fusion of attitude and heart that forms a courage in the soul that says, it isn't over until the fat lady sings. And the power of correct, rational process in the great reversal is not a denial that you're facing challenges or difficulties or even unfairness, but it is the response and the reaction that those challenges pull out of us and what they trigger from within our soul. So the tears are still there, the disappointment is still there, and the emotion is still there. But we don't hang our heads, because those negatives stimulate and trigger an impulse of faith and hope in the core of our being that defies what we're facing, because we know that we've been built for the impact zone of life. And when the pressure's on, we smile, because we know deep down in here that some fresh legs and a second wind and a hardened body are just about to be squeezed out. I don't know if you had a chance to see Yanni du Plessis' wry and confident smile in Christchurch on the 14th of July when the New Zealand haka was going down. It wasn't cockiness. You knew just looking at him that he wasn't daunted by what he was facing. And that's what I'm talking about here. A quiet confidence, a great attitude, a humility of heart that radiates courage from the core of our character that allows us to conquer in life. Why don't you take the picture of those superheroes in the Sasol ad into your heart as a reality, and realize that with all humility, you guys are indeed more than just men. But to trigger that reality, you need the catalyst of adversity and hostility. There's a transforming element in that visual on that ad that captures the truth of what I'm trying to say here. Greater capacity is always realized under pressure. We know that from simply pushing weights. They say no pain, no gain. And you guys are already performing well under pressure, so I'm hoping that something more kicks in than just what is already natural and instinctive to you as champions. You have to allow the pressure to unlock and trigger untapped and unseen potential. Potential that you yourself may not even be aware of, and that will make you more than just men. So when the game is on and you're living in that whistle-blowing reality, when the big hits of negativity have piled their weights on and the ache is on, here's some magic water from the homeland for you to give you some home advantage, okay? I want you to remember this. Your attitude to adversity unlocks the undiscovered capacity for character, greater character. And it's found in a heart of humility that helps you keep the end in mind so that you can finish strong, finish strong.